Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow Industrials up 176. You get the NASDAQ up 32. S&Ps are up 12. Let's go over to Gail Mercer, as we do each and every Tuesday at 40 past the hour. Gail does some great writing over at the Nadex site. Her website is tradershelpdesk.com. Now, you can get the great writing by coming right over to TFNN. You go under Nadex Market News. As you click that Nadex Market News, you're going to be over at that Nadex site, and you can, bottom line, go right under Popular Topics, hit Forex, and you're going to see Gail pop up right up at the front, the outlook for this week. Gail Mercer, welcome back to TFNN.
Hi, Tommy. How are you doing?
We're doing great, man.
Morning, Gail.
Man, woman.
Good morning.
Sorry. So, I see you're looking for a little action this week. Talk to us.
I am. I'm looking at the euro currencies and the British pound currencies. I just think they're going to have a big move this week. I think they're setting up for it now. So I'm waiting and watching to get in on that move.
So what makes you say you think they're going to have a big move, Gail? We're looking at the article. I know you jump around to a few different crossing pairs, of course, for currencies, but you'd sent over maybe the euro, the pound, and we're looking at a few things. Where would you like to start off on where you draw that conclusion from?
Let's start off on the euro dollar.
Okay.
If you're looking at the euro dollar, you can see that it has been overextended using the stochastics on the higher time frames, which is the 720 and the daily. So what I'm watching for are the lower time frames, like the 60 and the 360, to actually start to turn, because I think that will be a pretty big move up if it does go.
Yeah, I like that. So you're saying the euro would go higher, right?
Right.
Yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah, and it's starting to on, really lower time frames like the 15 and the 30. I want to actually see it for a longer term binary. I want to see it, on the 60 and the 360 going into the retracement on the 720-minute chart.
Yeah, what's intriguing is that, when you just look at the dollar index, which of course is just not that pair, but each and every time it gets up to that 95, this sellers, bottom line, it's been out there, 7 weeks right now, hasn't been able to make it, it's having a tough time making it higher or making it lower.
Yeah, it's fighting around that level.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see what happens in the next couple of weeks as to whether it goes higher or not. Right now on the euro daily, it has the potential of forming that reversal bar.
Okay.
Which would actually make it move higher typically anyway.
Sure.
But it really depends on where that bar closes today. Now, it is coming back and testing for support at the moment on the 60-minute chart. And again, I would like to see what happens there. And quite often, if this is going to be a big move,
yes,
they'll come back and they'll try to test that low on the 720. And it just, you'll have trend divergence form as it does that, meaning that the stochastics will not come as low.
Right.
And a good way to tell that is letting the stochastics really become overextended, where it goes down to 5 or 10.
Okay.
And then watch it and let it come back and try to test that level in price. That's where you're going to see the biggest divergence.
Yeah, the whole testing procedure is amazing. It really is,
It is.
It can drive you crazy, but I love it when it keeps testing, because it's like, okay, you did it again. It's like, okay, are you going to make it or break it? Here we go, right? Well.
Yeah, I love to see that. And, a lot of people, the one issue that you have is you don't have enough patience to wait for that setup to complete.
Yes.
You'll do it on the first test, and then they come back and they'll stop you out, and then they'll do another test. And with binaries, you really don't have to worry about that as much, because as long as you limit your, take it out of the money binary, you're usually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I can see that. And what ends up happening, folks, is that you can get free test also. It's like, oh my God, you come back to test again. And the bottom line, though, is that if that's what you get, and it can't handle it, then guess what? You get action. Just what Gail's saying. You get that divergence, your probability goes a lot higher, because they're just trying to say, are there any more sellers? And if there's no more sellers, when you're buying anything, it can go up pretty quick. You know, the sellers can drive it lower, not on purpose, just if everyone's selling, it's like, let me out, I need money, I need money.
Yeah, I think on one of my first sessions with y'all, I showed one on the British pound.
Yes.
And I mean, I waited for that thing for 2 days. But man, when it moved, I was doing 2-hour binaries every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
So, and that's the way I like to hit them.
So that's intriguing, because what does happen is that in the currency market, it seems that when they can turn for a period of time, right? Because these currencies really like to trend. They'll trend for a while, then if they turn, they'll trend again, right? So I can...
Yeah. And when you start seeing those consolidation areas, that's when I start getting excited.
Okay. So we have up now, Gail, is that we have the pound, the U.S. dollar.
Oh, okay. On the pound U.S. dollar, you're seeing some of the same formations that you see in the other ones. And again, they're coming back to test for support right now. And that's actually what I'm waiting on. Now, it could be that they come back and test that low right at 29.21.
Okay.
So they may even go to like 29.25, 29.20. I want to see as they retest that low, and I want to see a reversal bar form on that daily. Now, unless we have a lot of action this afternoon, we're not going to see that reversal bar yet on the daily.
Okay. And of course, with the pound, you're dealing with Brexit and the news stories, right?
Yeah. And I think someone came out and said that the Brexit was not going to be settled until January of next year.
Okay.
And it's really caused the British pound to go down lower. But again, you're not seeing a really significant low put in. They're going back to the same area that they went to before, because the prior low on the 720 was at 29.60, and they managed to go down to 29.19 on this one. So you're not seeing a significant move down, you know, off of that.
There's definitely going to be a lot of articles. So we were just chatting with Daryl Martin, and we were talking about the pound as well. And so I just was over there Googling Brexit deadline. You know, I was like, what's and 5 hours ago, there's an article on Bloomberg saying, well, it's definitely not going to be September. They're pushing it back to November, I believe it said. We'll pull it up maybe in the last segment. But yeah, that's going to be feeding, I think, as we were talking about. And, you know, as Daryl was saying as well, we could get some big-time volatility as those stories. And then what happens in November? It's pushed back again? What's the right?
Well, on Fox, I believe it was, they said it was going to be January, and they're saying they're expecting a 10% move in the British pound. So a lot of analysts think it's going to go up.
They're going to, they're going to have a lot to speculate on. You know, you're going to get a lot
A
of speculation.
10% move in a currency, that's a heavy scene, man. You better be trading binaries on Nadex, folks.
Seriously.
Gail, it's always a pleasure. You have a great one and a safe one. We look forward to speaking to you next Tuesday.
Oh, thank you. You have a nice one.
Thanks, Gail.
Thank you. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back.